All right, I'm Jeff Bodine. I'm here for a Saturday morning game. I'm playing 40K, and my opponent today is my good buddy John.
Okay.
All right, there's John. And I am doing Blood Angels like I have been playing for the last few games. I am trying to prep for an event, so I want to give these guys a few runs before I have to make my choice. So if it's not them, it might be Dark Angels. But I've been playing Blood Angels a lot, so it'll probably be Blood Angels. But John is playing his Eldar today, so there's just a brief look at them. I am taking hold, and he is Recon. So let's take a look at the missions real quick. So I am Purge and Secure, and here it is. So any battle round at the end of my turn, one or more enemy units were destroyed by this turn by a friendly unit that was within range of one or more objectives for 3. Or one or more enemy units that started the turn within range of one or more objectives were destroyed this turn. So either I can sit on an objective and kill something, or I can kill something on an objective. Then second battle round onwards, at the end of my command phase or end of the turn in the 5th battle round, for each objective you control, 4 VP, excluding your home, and you control one or more objectives. This one is at the end of your turn. Okay, so one of them is the end of the command phase, one of them is the end of the turn. In the turn, you control one or more objectives you did not control at the start of your turn. So you have to take new objectives at the end of your turn, or lose them and then regain them. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, this one's a lot more killing than taking hold would normally suggest, but he's also throwing units at me, so that's okay. So now we're going to look at his. He's doing reconnaissance sweep. So any battle round, end of the turn, 3 or more friendly units are wholly within 3 different table quarters and not within 6 of the center of the battlefield for 3 VP. And if he gets 4 units in 4 different zones, not within 6 of the battlefield, it's 6. So big jump from 3 to 4. Then end of your turn, any battle round, for each enemy unit destroyed this turn, 1 VP. And second battle round onwards, end of your command phase or end of the turn, 5th battle round, you control 1 or more objectives, excluding your home, for 3. So he just has to hold 1, and then if he kills anything, it's 1, and he just needs to get into table quarters. So this is a pretty, it just seems like a pretty straightforward mission. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know who I feel has a better, easier road here, but so we'll see. I of course lost the role for defender, and I am going to be deploying first, and once we're done with deployment, we'll go over the armies. Thanks. All right, we have completed deployments. Here's a long shot of the board from my end, so I will go on ahead and go over my army, and then I'll do John's. All right, so first, starting here on the end, I've got my scooter with the multi-multa. I have 6 blade guard joined by an ancient right there. There's my one of my 5-man scout units. Then I've got 10 of the Death Company with jump packs joined by Lamardus. He reduces their damage that they take by 1. Then I have a Vindicator with a Hunter Killer. Then there's 10 Terminators joined by an Ancient. He has a Power Fist and Stormbolter. Then there's 5 Scouts. I'll come around to the other side of the table. All right. Continuing from that direction, there's my Sanguinary Guard and the Captain. He's got a Power Fist and Plasma Pistol. Then there is my Stern Guard joined by a Librarian. I have the proper model this time. If you remember last game, I had to use Mephiston as a stand-in. So there he is, and he's got the Gift of Foresight, so I can turn my wound attempts into a 6, or one of them at least, and that will proc mortals for him, so it's pretty good. Then there's 3 bites, and this time, like I did last time, I cut my Reavers, so I don't have anybody in reserves. So we're all fully committed. All right, now I'll do John's army. All right, here's John's army. Now he's got 10 Swooping Hawks here. These guys do mortals when they get close to me. I think it's within 6 or something like that. 8. Okay, so these guys are real menaces. Let's try and kill them this time. Then there's 5 Howling Banshees, joined by Jane Zar there. they have fight first, and they can run and charge, and she gives them an automatic 6 for their run. So they basically have a 14-inch move and charge. So pretty disgusting. Then there's a Warwalker. It will add AP1 to anything that gets hit by one of its attacks. A unit. Then there's a Warlock on our Skyrunner Warlock. His main thing is just handing out the psychic bubble so that you can do your abilities. Then he's got 5 warp spiders joined by Lycus. And he normally triggers crits easier. That's mostly used for aspect hosts, but he will allow them to flicker and still charge. So that's medium useful, I guess, but he's also a really good combatant. He's just good in general. John perceives him as having a lot of value. Then there is 10 Storm Guardians with a 4-man Seer Council joined by a Warlock and Eldrad. And this Warlock has the relic that lets him manipulate his fate dice, which is pretty darn good. He's got another Warlock Skyrunner, another Warwalker, another 10 of the Swooping Hawks, and then another 10-man Storm Guardian unit, this time joined by a Farseer and a 4-man Council and another Warlock. So these guys put out a huge amount of DACA.
The Farseer has the enhancement where I think increase your command point cost for.
Oh, he's got a Vect item on this guy, so I got to be really careful with when I use my command points around him. Then he's got another Warlock and 5 Rangers forward deployed onto this objective. So it'll be interesting. Do you have anything in reserves?
I don't, but I do have a scout moves.
Okay, he has a scout move, but no reserves. So, and that's not surprising for Seer. Seer just kind of teleports people wherever they want them. So I think he won the roll to go first. So we're gonna do his turn, then we'll do another video at the bottom. Thanks. Okay, John has finished his first turn, and he's playing Recon, which means he's gonna be a little bit more conservative. So he drew Burden of Trust and Assassination. Now, Assassination is usual. Kill a character, or if the characters are already dead, you get 5. There is that last sentence that says that. I noticed that the other day. His other one, Burden of Trust, means you pick one of your friendly units and then you select them in conjunction to an objective, and if they survive through your opponent's turn and you still have control of it, then you have succeeded. So he picked his 2 big Farseer bricks to hold these back 2 objectives, and he probably wisely decided to forego trying to fight me for the middle, because that's just death for whatever tries it. So since he is Recon, he needs to get into the quarters. So he ran his bike up and he ran his scouts up to get into these 2 quarters on my half of the board. So he scored 6 for his every turn primary, and it was just kind of conservative and shuffled around his guys back here. That's just a token, it's not a model. Yeah, and we got this biker over here, so we'll see, who can do what, and we're gonna go into my turn. He did not, obviously, Burden of Trust is pending. Assassination was basically impossible turn 1. So we'll see what I get, and we'll do a video at the end. Thanks. All right, I have finished my first turn. I drew Burden of Trust, and I nominated my Blade Guard, the Terminators, and my Stern Guard to hold these 3 objectives. And I drew Plunder, which, the way it reads, the only way you can do this secondary is to do it on a piece of terrain that is not within your territory. And this map has a staggered territory line that's 26 inches up on either opposite end. So that puts the line through every single piece of terrain except stuff in his deployment zone. So I have to get all the way back there to his deployment zone to do this, which means I will probably never be able to do it. I may be able to do it late game. We'll see. But that is a very, very restrictive, actually, mission. So Burden of Trust will be ongoing. His 2 units, I wasn't going to mess with them. So those go off. And he got 4 for that, which puts him at 10. He did have this Ranger unit here. He moved him out to here in order to get his quarters. And I did kill them with the Terminator shooting. So that got me 3 points because I'm on the objective. So my burden of trust is pending. Plunder will pend for a while. He's still got assassination, but burden of trust has gone off for him, so he's got to tend to my 3. So we'll do his second turn and see how it looks. All right, thanks. All right, John has finished his second turn, and he hit pretty hard. He warped over his Farseer group from over there in that building over to here, and flickered up his warp spiders and moved over his swooping hawks. Just kind of pushed hard on this side in general, and moved up his warlock to do cleanse, because he drew cleanse and outflank, and he was basically able to do both of them. With outflank, you can do 1 unit in your territory and 1 unit out of your territory. So he picked those guys down there to do it, and then this unit, actually, yeah, this one for sure was in my territory, so he was able to get outflank. All you got to do is be within 6 inches of opposite board edges. So he's got that condition achieved, and it's not an action, you just got to stand there. So he also cleansed with this guy. Now that required him to clear out my blade guard, which he shot in and killed them all. It's no surprise, this unit is extremely violent, so he mowed them all down. And the character did fortunately survive, but he also charged into my bike and absolutely obliterated the thing. These guys have a ridiculous amount of melee. It's kind of shocking. I did not expect for them to be as potent as they are, but he totally stomped them out. And
20 attacks from Lycas in the sergeant.
yeah, between 2 guys in the unit, they have 20 attacks. So, and it's all power weapons. So it's a pretty nutso amount of attacks. And they all have lethals, of course. So like all my toughness advantage just goes away when he just rolls, you know, all these 6s. The bikes did fortunately survive, which is nice. He still got a point for killing a unit with the bike there, or with the ATV. So right now he's got, and for his primary, he was only able to get into 3/4. Fortunately, I locked down this quarter pretty hard, so he really couldn't get in there. But he killed a unit for 1, got 3 of the 4/4 for 3, and then he held 1 objective at the start of the turn that's in no man's land for 3. So he got a 7-point primary turn on that one and 10 points of secondary. So he's up to 14 for his secondaries and 13 for his primaries. Burden of Trust went off in the middle for me and over here in my home objective, and he killed these guys and took this away from me. So I get 4 for that. Now I'll get some primary, but it won't be a whole lot. This mission is, most of my point, or like about half of my potential points are put into taking back objectives that I lost and killing units, which for taking hold is kind of strange. Like, it has very little to do with actually taking and holding, and has to do with killing. So it's like soft purge. But all right, so we're gonna do my turn. We'll see where we're at. Thanks. All right, I have finished my turn. Now I drew Beacon and Defend Stronghold. Beacon, you have to nominate a friendly unit, get it in your opponent's territory, or at least out of your deployment zone, and then you can score either 3 or 5 VP, and your opponent gets a turn to respond. Then Defend Stronghold, you can either hold your home for 3 or have no enemies in your deployment zone for +2, but if they take out both, then you get nothing. So he's got to try and stop me from holding my home. I don't think he will be able to, but he can try. He can still teleport this unit. Everybody else is in combat. So I guess, wait, no, you can still combat. You can teleport. All right, so I can't stop him from doing anything. Eldar can just do whatever they want. So he can still teleport away even though he's in combat, basically anywhere. We'll see what he does, but right now all my secondaries are pending, and I took 2 objectives that didn't belong to me at the start, but it doesn't matter, you only get credit for 1 in this one. And I killed a unit that was on an objective, and he precisioned out my, yeah, this was nonsense. I charged into this unit of Banshees with this full 10-man brick of Terminators, and he rolled so many 4s that the chick went unscathed, and she countered back and killed my Ancient with a precision, which is absolutely bonkers. So, yep, pretty insane. Like, she had 8 attacks, 8 hits, 8 wounds. Easy peasy. No problems. And I failed 4 of them and died because I roll average. So, yeah, I lost my action over there, which is everything that makes them functional. So we'll see what happens. But I did do a lot of damage. I killed down almost all of the Warlock unit, but the heart of the unit is the last guys, and so I've only killed about half of them. So he still has a lot of power there, and he can just warp himself away with no problems and still shoot, charge, whatever he wants to do. So I won't be able to stop them from escaping. So we'll see what happens. But yep, we'll figure it out. All right. John has finished his 3rd turn, and he had another pretty big one, I would say. He got forward position, and what was your other one that you drew? Defense Stronghold. Okay, so Defense Stronghold, as you know, forward position. You either have to take my home or both the expansions, and he's actually done both. Or no, he got one of the expansions. He took mine. I still have his.
It requires me to take either your home or
but
the
and he took my home. He dropped in his Eldar group over there, shot these guys. They mostly bounced because I had psychic protection in this unit. But he assaulted the scouts and killed 3 of them. But I'm still alive there, thankfully. That saves me. That gives me a chance to beat up these guys. So now the Terminators lost another man, but killed Jane Czar, pounded her into paste. Then I shot and killed a few of the Swooping Hawks in an Overwatch, which was nice. I lost the rest of the Death Company to freaking grenades. These guys, even if they fall back, run, it doesn't matter. If they end a move within range of an enemy, no matter how they did it, they get to throw grenades. The target can be in combat, which they were, and he could still do it. So he blew up all my all my Death Company and killed them all. But all that's left is Lamardis. Lamardis swung in. He made most of his 4s again, and I only killed 1 guy. So the Terminators are going to have to come in and bail him out. But so we'll see how this goes. These guys remained unhurt. Now, he did shoot and kill my bike finally. So that kind of pins these dudes in place. I need to do plunder to get some points. So we're going to do my turn and see how it goes. All right, thanks. Okay, I have finished my turn, and I had a weird turn. I drew Tempting Target and Display of Might. Now, Display of Might, okay, so first of all, Beacon, technically, even though I drew it on my previous turn, I can't score it until this one. So it pushed the 5 into my next set of secondary scoring, which is still capped at 15. So I could not score Display of Might because I got Tempting Target and I did Plunder. I did Plunder with my guys up here, and I nosed into his deployment zone to cheat him of a couple of points. He was kind enough to, I assumed I was already in there, and he was kind enough to let me push a model over the line because it was well inside my ability to do so. Then I had 2 No Man's Land objectives here and here, so that was a big one for primary for me. And I killed another unit on an objective, got rid of the Swooping Hawks. But all right, so these Seer Councils, okay, when they have the Warlock in there, they're -2 to be charged. So even when you're at the maximum, or you're at the closest possible, it's still at least a 4 it's a 5 to make it. You have to roll a 5 because you have to basically overcome a 3. You have to roll at least a 3 to make it normally, but it's another -2, so you got to roll 5. So both of these freaking units failed their charges. I rolled a 3 for both of them, and I had to use my 1 command point to get me to reroll to get into these guys. And he, of course, -1 to hit, -1 to wounded. Now I was oath there. Oh, you know what I did? I forgot to reroll my wounds. Dang it. Oh well, I would have done a lot more damage there, but so be. I beat him up pretty good because Blood Angels, even Stern Guard, do a ton of attacks on the charge. So I cleared out this, and I failed the charge there, so he's still alive. I threw a grenade and killed that stupid biker guy. So I've got he's running out of stuff, and that's how I'm going to probably pull away. But this has been a very close fought game, and he has played his butt off and done some really sneaky stuff. So yeah, he's used his stuff masterfully. It was really good. So we're probably going to call it here because we both have things we have to do. So but this was a very good game, and I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.